Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of Scheduling Conflict. I'm your host, a Basilisk, and today we have a new co-host joining me. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Hello, I'm Aston. I'm into a lot of the same things as a basilisk. I like designing stuff and I like think about obscure theory of stuff, which is why I'm here.
Yeah. So we can have mega mind, big brain, intellectual war dollies discussion. So yeah, what do you have to present? What are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about one of my favorite, somewhat controversial things in the circle that I play with. Talk about. They're all sick of me. The triangle. So this is something I stole from a Warhammer subreddit like years ago. I don't remember what subreddit. Probably competitive. Who knows? It might have been like r/Drukari or something. Basically, it's a way of looking at the game and understanding like where every unit is. It breaks down to three things. So every unit can be classed in its mobility, its killiness. I just like saying that. It sounds like an orc.
Yep.
Damn killy. And then its tankiness. And then obviously those are the 3 points. The triangle. You can use where a unit is on this triangle to work out roughly where its point should be, and roughly, is it a good unit? Is it fun to use? And is it of equal importance? Is it fun to play against? So I'll give you an example. Most chaff tend to be one of these.
Yes.
For example, Plague Marines aren't going to kill you on their own, but they are tough. And they're also really slow. Hormagaunts are really fast. They're not going to kill you on their own, and they go down to a stiff breeze. Most elites are two. So I'm looking at let's go for a different faction, Deathwing Terminators. They hurt. If you throw them into a unit on the melee, if they haven't got any guns, pour them, they hurt. They're also quite tough, but they're quite slow. If you miss that charge, if you have to slog them up the board, they're quite slow. You end up paying a premium for a Land Raider, so you're investing more points to get them up to the speed of other things. And then for all three, you typically have units that are big centerpieces or low wound count armies. So
Right, yeah.
I'm talking your big knights, Dominus and the Questorius and Dominus. I was going to say Dominus and the one above, but Dominus is the top one. Questorius and Dominus tend to be all three. You know, we're looking at 10-inch move. We're looking at massive guns.
Big
We're
guns.
looking at, what are they now? 20, 28 wounds?
It's something like that,
30,
yeah.
something around that point. I know they lost a pip of toughness. I never stop hearing from my friends about it. But you have that, and then you also have epic heroes. So, for example, the lion is fast, he's tough, and he will kill you. But you can only
Yes,
bring one of him.
correct.
So he's a centerpiece, right? He's worth it. And more importantly, when your opponent takes them down, they go, "Yeah, I've killed the lion. Look at that! I killed a guy who's worth it." And he's also a massive points investment, which means he's worth his points on the triangle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's another investment, right? You have the points is that fourth dial to turn. So depending on
Yeah,
where you sit on the triangle, you can be more than two, or you can, I guess, go past the triangle and be very good at certain things. And if it goes too far, you have that points to kind of reel it back in and go, okay, this is very good, but it's not like you can take as many as you want. You got to think about it.
yeah, you got to think about what you want to take, and where a unit is on the triangle. Like I would put someone like Mortarion, who's very good at the minute. He's unbelievably tough because he's the Death Guard, of course he is. He's really quick for a Death Guard. He's 10-inch move
And
off
he's
the top of my head,
flying as
10,
well,
12. He's
so
flying as well. And he will really hurt. Like silence hurts, especially since you're in his aura all the time. He picks, I forget exactly what his warlord buff does, but it's a debuff of some kind. It makes you worse in some way.
yeah.
You're not as tough around him, that sort of thing. So I think it's just a really good scale for judging. It really helps me if I'm homebrewing or if I'm reviewing a unit or if I'm kicking off in the local group chat about, oh, this codex is nonsense. Blah, blah, blah. Um, it really helps me to put it into perspective where things should be. I also kind of use it whenever I run stuff in something like D&D, because unless it's the villain of a campaign, I don't want to present something to the players that has like an answer for everything.
Yeah.
So if you're fighting some sort of behemoth, it's going to be tough. It's going to hit you really hard, but you can run away from it. Maybe it can't follow you certain places. Maybe its mobility is hindered by its tremendous size.
And it could have weaknesses in other spaces, like maybe it has poor visuals. Normally, so there's one way to get around it, or it could have like a vulnerability to a certain damage type, or there could be no special protection against magic, meaning your magic users have a chance of dealing with them in a way maybe someone with a sword can't.
Exactly like that. You want to avoid stuff that has an answer to everything. Um, unless it's the villain of your campaign, I tend to be quite mean with them. I tend to go go nuts. Yeah, this guy's got like 3 stat blocks, go crazy. Second phase, Dark Souls style.
Yeah, Dark
But
Souls
no,
boss.
in Warhammer is a very different game. I like to keep tabs of units that are fun to use and fun to play against.
Mhm.
No one wants to play a skew list. I'm thinking back to the days of Ninth, where you could make that ridiculous Tau commander who could ignore Feel No Pains and stuff like that. Um, Everyone wants to have fun playing the game, and I think this thing that I've stolen and run with is a really good basis for, is this unit fun?
Right.
Is the end of it.
Is there any, I guess, outliers where you found models or units that kind of spit in the face of the theory? Like, I guess going towards the elite you mentioned kind of have 2 focuses on the triangle. And what comes to mind? The Exalted 8-bound or something?
Exalted 8-bound, yes.
Yes. So, from my knowledge, they are, obviously they're very killy in melee, and I think they're quite fast because they're world eaters and they're quite tough. But I guess their weakness is range.
So yeah, so for Exalted 8-bound, they are specifically Exalted 8-bound, but I can cover normal 8-bound as well. Exalted 8-bound are an anti-vehicle choice for the most part. They have anti-vehicle 3 on their melee, and then I think their ability is if a vehicle retreats, has to make a desperate escape on a 1 or a 2, it dies. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I love my world eaters, but the last time I played them was probably about a year ago. Yeah, units like that aren't as tough as you'd think, given I think they only have a 5-up invul.
Oh, okay.
And you can invest more points into them to give them a slaughter mound who will bring 1 back every turn. But their only option for getting to you, their only option for attacking you is running at you. I mean, that's not what you should do competitively, blah blah blah. But in the spirit of world eaters, their only way to get to you and threaten you is to run right at you. Or you invest the points in a land raider, because I don't think they can go into a rhino off the top of my head.
Okay.
They're in the same bin as possessed,
Yes,
which I don't
too
think
big
can go in
or
rhinos.
something like that.
So yeah, they certainly have. They are certainly placed on the triangle, and they're probably an elite choice that has more going into 3 points rather than 2. And it's not a static measurement of, they have 2, whatever. It's a dynamic thing, but they're definitely going up into 2 or 3. But I think that's fine because they're such a melee army.
Yeah.
Like everything in World Eaters has to either be tough or have a way of getting to you, or it's useless. So I'm looking at things like Blood Surge on the Berserkers.
Yes, that's if you shoot at them, move d6, right?
Yes, so if you shoot and kill, you have to kill a model in the unit, but then they get to move d6 inches towards you. I think they have a strat in Berserker Warband for make it a 6. But yes, they move d6 towards you. They can move into combat with that. If you play the Possessed attachment, the 8-bound and the Exalted 8-bound get the same ability as their detachment rule.
That's cool.
So they're all, if you're shooting at them, they're moving towards you. But if you were to give something like that to Tau, in my opinion, I'm not that versed in the Tau roster. Maybe they have it. I don't know. I think that has to be reevaluated in some way because the Tau are going to blow you up from a mile away.
Yeah.
And range in 40k is, as we're learning with 10th, with the indirect fire nerfs and the towering nerf at the start, range is always king.
Yeah, it's always gonna. I mean, it's just kind of like real life, right? It's always gonna be better to gun someone down before they get to you before.
Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Exactly. I guess there's also that with. It's been removed now, I think, but the Wraith Guard in Eldari very early on in 10th, where every time they were shot or fought in melee, they could shoot back or something.
Yeah, I think they changed that. I believe they changed it with Chaos Space Marines Hellbrute in their codex as well, because the Hellbrute had a similar ability.
God, I forgot about that. I think the Hellbrute just has a aura now.
Yeah, the Hellbrute has
both dark.
Yeah, I think it's that now, and it used to be if you do anything to it, it gets to choose what it does back. So if you shoot it, it can fight. If you shoot it and it's in melee with your guys, it can fight those guys for free, which is hilarious. Oh, I'm really pissed off. Let me smack this guy.
I mean, Hellbrute needs it. Poor guy's baby dreadnought.
I've got 2, and I feel so bad for them. They're I love them to bits, but they're never a good choice.
Would you ever want, I guess, like a redemptor version of a Hellbrute? I know it's not quite lore and.
Yeah, I'm quite against the curve in that I am a big Primaris enjoyer.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that the first wave of assault intercessors and stuff doesn't have the character of the firstborn,
Yes.
but I like their proportions more. I think I like the look of the Mark 10 gear. I think it's really cool. I love the Gravis Marines. I like Phobos less, but I'm learning to love them. They might become a necessity in seeing as one of my friends has a Knight Perforian.
Oh, this is the quote unquote hunk of resin I've heard about.
Yes, it's as small as it's as big as a small toddler,
Jesus.
and it has only ever failed to kill one thing in an attack because it rolled double ones on its attacks.
Oh, dear God.
And that's on the number of shots it got, not on its wound rolls or anything. So we still had to
Right.
go through all of those. It just didn't have the shots to kill, like per model. I think it was a unit of like Hearthkin battle line or something.
Oh, right. Okay,
They only lived because it fired 6 shots and there were 7 of them or something.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Phobos might become a necessity when you've got to hide from the giant sky cannon. Anyway, no, I think I'd love to see that. I think Chaos Primaris are something they're going to explore at some point. They've kind of started it with the Murder Curse, if you remember that from Arcs of Omen.
No, not particularly.
So when in the last Arcs of Omen book, or is it the one before that? I can't remember. Angron bursts out of the warp and goes
Yeah.
like, "Rah, I'm angry," wah, but a bit more grit than that. And it releases this big shockwave that turns all of the Imperial followers on the planet except the blanks and the custodies to chaos. They all turn to Khorne.
Right. Yes, no,
So
okay, this is
there
ringing
are
bells now.
canonically legions of, well, not legions, like warbands of Chaos Primaris from the Salamanders, from the Imperial Fists. I think the Crimson Fists were there, if memory serves. I can't remember, but you could
Blood
paint
Angels
whatever
as
you
well,
want,
right?
right? Yeah, but the Blood Angels don't need much encouragement.
Especially after their new models.
Yeah, they chose to jump before they were pushed. Yeah, no, I'd love to see Chaos Primaris. I don't think they should replace the Legionaries and stuff because,
No.
oh, I mean, in a financial sense, those models have just come out. But in like a, it could be cool to have a recently turned Primaris warlord and see what that means for him in terms of the rest of Chaos. Like, yes, he might be bigger and tougher and faster and all the Primaris upgrades, but he's also not had the development, shall we say, of the Long War.
Yeah, it's not had 10,000 years of stewing in chaos either. So it's baby chaos.
Yeah, I think that could be really interesting to get. Maybe start it as like an anniversary thing. My wish list for anniversary models is a very long list, but this is on it. Yeah, I think it could be really interesting.
They just need to throw Vashtor in there as well. The bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, just have him do something, please.
Yeah, literally anything, please.
Just literally have him. I don't care at this point. Have him appear in the Imperial Palace and get gunned down, but at least put him in a narrative.
Have him show up and have secretly edited the Terminus decree for the Greynax.
Yeah,
it was him
they
all
open the door to where it's kept, and he's in there with like a pen and quill, and he's like, "Oh shit, boys, what's up?"
But going back to the whole triangle, you mentioned that much to your dismay of your group. Is it just because they are sick and tired of you mentioning it? Or
oh, they're just sick of me posting. Like, I'll find a unit I don't like, and I'll post like the thing and the data sheet, and I'll annotate it, and be like, yeah, this is nonsense, and this is nonsense, and this is nonsense.
So, is there a unit you can think off the top of your head that is like your biggest, I guess, criminal in the sense of
yes,
it doesn't
I
adhere at all to your triangle?
I am a big Necron hater.
Okay, yes.
I don't like him.
Yes.
I play against them all the time because 2 of my very good friends are diehard Necron enjoyers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it, and it's a shame really because I love Egyptian stuff. Like I would play Tomb Kings in the old world if I could.
Oh, 100%.
They need to update that model range first. The dragon looks amazing, and the Necrolisk Bone Dragon. I said the same thing twice. The Necrolisk Bone Dragon and the what's the other thing I'm thinking of? The big Sphinx thing looks great, and you look at the battle line, and you're like, no.
Oh boy, yeah.
But no, so the Doomsday arc in Necrons is one that I really don't like. It's got 10-inch move. It has a 4-up invul. It's toughness 10 or 11. It has reanimation protocols like all the Necrons do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, it gets it. It's in the army.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of units that don't get army rules.
That is kind of strange though. That reanimation protocols is for vehicles as well. Because I guess it's the guy in the cockpit standing back up, but
well, they're all made of
the same necrodermis shit.
Yeah, they're all made of necrodermis. And I mean, it's the same way that Custodes tanks get martial katars.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Kung Fu tanks. Forgot
So
about that.
yeah, we just got to take that one on the chin. Really, I can't. I might not. I might wheeze whenever someone says and reanimation activates. But yeah, the trick to Necrons is you got to shoot everything at one guy, make sure he's dead, and then follow on to the next guy. But back to the Doomsday Arc. It's unbelievably killy. Strength. It's like D6 plus something shots, strength 16, AP 4, damage 4, lethal hits, and if it stands still, it gets devastating wounds. I think I've just rattled off its profile correctly.
Sounds about right.
So what it essentially is an artillery piece with the same invulnerable save that we give to our melee characters to protect them, or our named characters, or stuff like that. I just really think it's everywhere at once on it, and I don't think, I know it's had its point cost raised, whatever. I really don't think it's high enough because you can bring 3 of them.
Jesus, yeah, and that's a big gun to have 3 of.
All it does is sit there, pick a big thing it can see, blow it up, and then when you go, I'm going to shoot at that thing, it's an artillery piece with an invulnerable save that reanimates. It's got an answer for everything.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, because even if you get someone in melee, it's got big guns, right? It's a vehicle, so there's like no way of shutting it down.
So because big guns never tire, that's that. Off the top of my head, I don't think its gun is blast, so I think it could fire into melee with you. And even if you got infantry with it, it has the little like side guns, like gills, Gauss flare arrays and stuff.
Yeah, like the bolter arrays and stuff as well.
Yeah, it will chip you down in melee. But yeah, you can bring 3 of them. I think, honestly, the way I would fix it is I would say, make it choose between the dev wounds and the invul save. Say its reactor can only power one thing at a time. I don't know. I don't care. But I can't believe that thing has an invulnerable save of 4 up and devastating wounds.
4 up, invul, and dev wounds has always been kind of crazy in 10th. I know they've kind of
worked
away at making it less crazy, but
I called it at the start when I saw, I was in my living room in uni and I saw the 10th preview and they were like, oh, devastating wounds does this, and I called it then and then. I was like, right, Eldar are gonna have a field day with this, and they did.
Yeah,
it's just not good.
I have no regrets. I came into 10th when I'm playing Eldar, and then it was before everything went crazy, and I still stand by it. Best idea. It was funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's always grab whatever models you want. I'm never going to chastise someone for playing an army because the meta changes all the time. I might bully my friends for being Necron players, but in truth be told, I actually don't mind.
Yeah.
No, I mean, always pick the models that look good, the models you like the look of. Because one week they could, I mean, they broke Eldar in a balance patch, didn't they? They just changed the fate dice stuff.
I don't even think I've played my Eldar since Codex, mainly because I don't own the Codex.
Yeah, I've started a small little craft world, mainly just to get all the aspect warriors. I think they're dope.
Oh yeah,
they're great.
100% the best thing. I'm glad they've started like phasing them into kill team because they're so cool.
We just need them to remember that Karandras exists, and then it'll be all right.
Karandras, no! I have my own 3D print of him. He looks so cool. He's like perched on a pillar, like choking out this Imperial Guardsman. Now he sits there all sad. I
heard a rumor a while ago about why Karandras didn't get a model.
Mm-hmm.
So allegedly, it's because they forgot.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them.
Apparently, the rumor is that when they did the Eldar refresh, they had a note of everything they were going to do, and they did all the Phoenix Lords. And because the timelines are like models are designed and printed like 2-3 years in advance, like Angron was done for I think 3 years before he was released. So
wow,
like Lorgar and Morty are probably done if you want to believe the rumors, or whoever's going to come out. I mean, Russ is obviously coming out at the end of the edition. Like the Space Wolves Codex has rules 100%. For monsters, and they don't have one. But he'll be sitting in a warehouse somewhere for 2-3 years. But anyway, apparently when they came to do Karandras, when they came to the Eldar refresh, they did all the Eldar characters, and they were like, right, that was it, we're done. And then they get to the like shipping window or like the production window where there's no more changes can be done, the molds are made, etc. And someone was like, "Oh shit, we forgot Karandras." So they just had to like roll with it.
Man, what a crazy mistake. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna, because I even redid Striking Scorpions with Kill Team, so it's not like they're gonna get anything else for a while.
I heard he was going to come out with the Striking Scorpions Kill Team, but no dice. But that's if you want to. That's when you want to believe rumors.
Yeah, that's tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he just didn't fit into the triangle. Maybe Karandras was too strong.
Oh, if they start using the triangle, they got some changes to make. The other example I've got for like stuff that I think breaks the theory, and therefore stuff I just don't like playing against,
Right.
is the Transcendent Catan.
More Necrons.
I hate Necrons. What can I say? They're just no. I have these examples because they're the army that I play against the most.
Yeah.
Two of my friends have expansive Necron armies, so chances are when we go to play, there'll be Necrons on the table. Transcendent Catan, D6 melee weapon. When it advances, it just teleports. It has I mean that's a reach of anywhere on the board, and it's not like it's coming in from deep strike like Terminators, which gives them a bit of a mobility buff. It's coming on the board and then advancing and teleporting.
Mm.
And then you have half damage, 5 feel no pain, 4 up invul, reanimation protocols.
Yeah, I was gonna say just a sheer. I mean, even they get past the epic character thing because they're an archetype. So it's like a few of them that do similar things.
Yeah, the Void Dragon, I respect. He knows what he's about.
Yeah.
He sees your Rhino and he doesn't want it to exist anymore.
Annihilated.
I respect him, but the Transcendent Catan, you can have 3 of them. You can play the Settlers of Catan list. I know that you'll lose, and I know that you'll get outscored if your opponent knows how to play the game and stuff like that, right? I've heard the criticisms, but it's just a shit game.
Yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be that balance between sure, this might not be good in the sense that you'll win every game you play with it, but it might be good in the fact that it completely ruins the experience for the other players.
No one wants to play against like pinning lists back in 6th and 7th, right? Like Imperial Guard pinning lists.
Mm.
No one wants like if I'm sitting down to play a game of Warhammer, I have committed the day to it.
Yeah.
Because it's an enjoyable time. You wanna move fucking plastic war dollies around and play with your mates. And then there's certain units like the Transcendent Catan that I see one, I'm like, oh really?
I mean, they're very, as you were saying, with the whole feel no pain as well. They're very defensive profiles. So, and then add reanimation protocols on top of that, and they're a nightmare to remove. And then obviously, it's not like they're dealing no damage in the meantime.
Yeah, they don't have the destructive output of the Nightbringer or the Void Dragon, but it's still pretty nasty. Like if it gets into melee with you, it's still if you fail those saves, it's still D6 damage, and it can go anywhere it wants.
Also kind of thinking about how much value you put into movement, right? Because in these kind of games, movement is almost everything.
Yeah.
Be able to position yourself wherever you want to go is very, very strong.
Yeah, I have a couple of army examples as well. I think use this theorem really well. I think Emperor's Children are a great example. They're really fast. They hit really hard. I mean, look at Lucius if you've got characters involved. Look at Fulgrim. Look at Shalaxi, including demons because they're in the book.
Yeah.
But they're not tough. They're like wet paper.
Fulgrim's obviously going to be the toughest thing in there, but that's because he's Primarch.
Yeah, because he's an epic hero. He can do what he likes.
The only other one I could think of is Lucius. His old gimmick of coming back is again epic character privilege.
I don't think that's a rule he has though. I think
Does
it's just
he
a
not
law
have
thing.
that anymore?
I don't think so.
What?
My
lore. No. GW,
hang on, let me crack open the Let me crack open the old rule page. I got the EC Codex on my phone.
Thank you, GW. What a convenient and not at all annoying app you have.
I know, right? He rerolls hits and wounds against character, monsters, and walkers because fuck them, I guess.
Sure.
And if he's not leading a unit, he gets fights first.
So he doesn't come back?
He does not come back. He does have a feel no pain.
That's like his whole thing.
But he is only T5, 6 wounds, 4 up invul, 5 up feel no pain.
Yeah, no, that is he's basically praying the feel no pain works.
Yeah. So I mean, like they fold like wet paper.
Yeah.
It's you hit them with anti-tank or anything, it's over for them. They have no access to proper armor outside of a Rhino or a Lamb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Mauler Fiend as well, but that's again just a really quick, hard-hitting melee unit. It's a bit tough, sure, but they have no Forge Fiends, they have no Predators.
Yeah.
They have nothing like that.
Wait, hold on, no, they're saved. They've got the Helldrake.
Oh, you're so right. Flyers are a whole other episode.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you're getting into paying a premium for transports if you want defense. So you can have the defense of a Land Raider, but it's a big investment. You got to pack that thing full of Faultless Blades. I would even say that their toughness woes come into why their Terminators are capped at 5, which I know is a very unpopular thing for Emperor Children players.
Yeah, I mean, you want to run your 10 block.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. So you can't run a 10 block because you're meant to be quick. You're not meant to be a unit that can suck up all this punishment like Terminators can and then get into melee.
Right, yeah. I guess with Death Guard, right, they get their big blocks of Terminators and they can march up the board with them and they tank those hits, that's fine. because when they eventually do get to you, which will take a while, they have earned their big hit.
Yeah, Death Guard are my other example. So Death Shroud hit like a truck.
Yeah.
And that's consistent with the rest of the army as well. I mean, they might still be firing bolters at you, but if you're suddenly toughness 3, those bolters are going to hurt a lot more. They got 4-inch move on their Terminators. I think it's 5 on the Plague Marines. They got no access to Possessed at all. They have some Demon Engines are pretty quick, 10-inch on the drone.
Yeah.
But they are not things that take a lot of investment to kill. And if the rest of the army is still slogging behind, that 10-inch move is doing nothing for you. You can't have a plague drone out there exposed.
Yeah, you just focus fire them.
Death Guard might be tough, but very few of them get back up. I think the Plague Surgeon can bring people back. And then similarly, you're paying a premium for transports to get them on the board quicker. So you don't care about the toughness of it or its wounds or whatever. If that Lamb Raider blows up, you don't care because the guys inside will probably be fine slogging it the rest of the way. But as long as they make it up the board, that's fine. Even Mortarion is the slowest of the Demon Primarchs. Not by much, but he still is. They got the slowest battle lines, slowest Terminators. Like the Terminators really need Deep Strike to get up the board. If you fail that charge, and then in the enemy's next turn they move away, those Terminators are wasted pretty much because they're not making it anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely cooked. They'll just be chasing after things and Sod's Law is right. You'll fail the next charge and the one after that, and then they're dead.
But the fun part is, it'll take ages to kill them.
Yeah.
Like I had Typhus and 3 Death Shroud go into an aggressor squad with the Flamers.
Yeah.
They got overwatched. The Flamers did not kill a single Death Shroud. They almost did, but they didn't kill a single Death Shroud. And then on the charge, the aggressors had fight first. Death Guard have a strat, which gives you -1 damage. I think it's just disgustingly resilient. Mm-hmm. So by the time the Overwatch and the charge had rolled around, the fight had rolled around, and we'd taken all that damage from 6 aggressors and a Gravis Captain, I think. There was still Typhus and 1 Death Shroud raring to go, and they wiped the squad.
Nice. Yeah, that's the I guess the fantasy, right? You unit tanks the hits and then hits back harder.
And then the Sanguinor got involved, and we killed him too.
Damn, Jesus.
Typhus is a beast, but he earns it because he's so goddamn slow.
He's carrying all them flies with him, that's why.
Yeah, just like Fulgrim earns it because he's so quick he'll get in there, but he's got to pay real attention to not tango with anything that can hurt him.
Yeah, I think when Fulgrim first came out, I was watching one of the many Battle Report YouTube channels, and they were showing him off, and I was kind of shocked at how quickly he got killed. I think it was by some Outriders. I was like, whoa.
He takes real piloting sometimes. You can't let him get exposed. Much unlike Mortarion, who you want to soak up all the damage, or Angron, who you just go, yeah, he's going to run at you. That's it. I'm not even when I play World Eaters, I position all the infantry really meticulously. But it's so much fun to just put Angron in view of everyone and say, right, who's he reaching first?
Angron's great, right? It's just Yahtzee if he comes back.
Yeah. The whole faction being Yahtzee is hilarious. I got a good friend who plays World Eaters, and he always says that the faction mechanic for World Eaters should be Thousand Suns instead, because you're solely reliant on dice, and you should roll 9 dice and stuff. But I like it in World Eaters.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool.
I like that when you kill stuff with certain units, you get to, I think you get to roll again for more buffs.
Right.
I think it's a Berserker icon or something.
Yeah, it's like their Chaos icon equivalent.
Yeah.
Right?
And then the last one I've got to be an example is Genestealer cults, trying to cover one of different armies. So they're a bit of a weird one because they are fast, some of the units. They've got the bike guys, they've got the trucks pretty fast. Genestealers themselves pretty fast.
Yes.
They're not tough, which is why their own mechanic is just come back for points. So much better than the old Cult Ambush as well. I hated rolling that dice, getting a 1 and being like, yeah, my army's dead turn 2.
I hated playing against it and then suddenly going, oh, those aberrants I just killed, they're back.
Yeah, aberrant gaming. But yeah, Genestealer cults inside their codex have a really good spread of stuff that is tough or fast or killy, but never that killy.
Yeah.
The Benefactress is good, but there's a reason she's 60 points. The Reductive Saboteur is good, but once he's thrown his charge, that's it.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, and I thought, well, Genestealer cult's niche is not to hit really hard by any means. A lot of armies in Warhammer are about play the objective, but also just annihilate the enemy.
Yeah, get your
look
big
at
guns
knights,
in
look
place,
at Chaos Knights,
blow things
look
up.
at some ways you can play Marines, Look at Custodians. Custodians are never playing an objective. Custodians are going to hunt you down across the board.
It's lore accurate.
Yeah, cults have to play the objective as much as they can and score everything they can before like end of turn 3, so that you can't catch up to them.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, that's their niche then. Their niche is not being killy. They occupy the other 2 points in that they're fast enough because they can keep coming back on the board wherever they like. You know, cult ambush, deep strike, coming out of the pipes or whatever it's called, wherever they like. Loads of stuff that can go off the board and come back on. Like I think that's the bite guy's ability.
Yeah.
I think one of the, maybe it's the Magus or something, can reposition them. And then tough, not in the sense that you can't kill them because you can, tough in the sense that they don't stop coming. Once you've killed that unit in neophytes, it will pop up wherever it likes, leveraging its mobility. And then it's as if you never killed that unit in neophytes, especially if they pop up in the same place. And you know, they can come back flanking you, they can come back on objective, they can come back in your back line if they really want to, if you haven't screened.
Yeah, do they still have the thing where if you walk within range of the ambush token, they can't come out there? Or has that been changed with the
Yeah, I think the token just gets removed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jitter cults are one that occupies, they're unique in 40k in that they don't occupy the killy bit. Everything else in 40k wants to kill you real bad. The cults don't care as long as they complete their objectives. Which I think is really interesting for there to be an army in the grim darkness of the far future that does that. I think it's really like sending home, this is the way to design this game.
I also think it's a really big flavor win as well, right? Because they are the underdogs. They are going to be scrappy. They are going to do what they have to gain any upper hand against, you know, the literal godmen or chaos cultists or whatever the Xenos race. Well, not really. I guess they wouldn't really fight Xenos races lore wise, but you know, they need to do what they need to do to get the upper hand. And I think that is kind of the balanced space they exist within, right? Because we've kind of been talking about all these gimmicks or alternative strategies they have to get an upper hand, and they're not traditionally, as you mentioned, tanky, strong, or fast in, I guess, traditional ways. They always have special abilities or stratagems or their army rule to help them get the upper hand in the spaces where maybe the raw stats on their data sheets can't. Like the Chargers, for example, they are pretty scary, but they're such short range. They're not like your traditional, oh, here's my big rocket launcher on my character that can fire 48 inches and do the same amount of damage. But then you have ways of getting around that, like abusing firing deck to get your trucks and chuck a bunch of charges.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from a lore perspective, they don't care if they defeat you. All they have to do is prevent you from firing the anti-Tyranid missiles into the hive ship.
Yes.
Or, you know, make sure that that you might have killed them all, but they just poison the water supply of the whole planet. Good luck defending a planet that's thirsty. And then from a gameplay perspective, they really are like a new age sort of force where the way you play the game is completely different. I've only played Genes to the Cult a couple of times as the army I'm piloting, but I would say definitely they're playing checkers and most other people are playing chess. Not from other way around. You're playing chess, they're playing checkers. Not from, I misquoted myself there. Not from a player skill perspective, but just from what you're trying to achieve in the battle perspective. Like the Knights player is always going to be trying to fire its macro, heavy, annihilator, devastator, stick 20 more adjectives on here.
Yeah.
into the biggest thing it can find. But the humble occultist, all they want to do is run up, throw their 20 points worth of bomb at you, do some mortal wounds, and you can crush them at that point. They don't care. They've made their money.
Yeah, Pyrrhic victory.
At the end of the day, the Tyranids still come in, so good luck, everyone.
Yeah, with that in mind, how do you feel about the new Votann rules? Because from what I've seen of the leaks and such and how yield points work, they are kind of the opposite of cults right now, where they have an ability that rewards you for playing the game in a very, I guess, not straightforward, but like you're playing 40k how people think you should be playing 40k. Entirely objective focused, get on your objectives, stay on those objectives, kill people.
I honestly, I've always really liked Votann's rules. I liked Grudge Token, well, except when they came out and
what's insane.
They could do unspeakable things with back the rail cannons.
Yeah.
And they issued that little apology video. That was so funny. No, I really like Votann's rules. I will have a play with them myself. I don't know if I don't know how the tuning is on them. Whether the abilities all look really cool, but I don't know if you can, the one where it says you can gain or 1 point by using this ability. I don't know if that's enough. But the thing I always respect about Votann is they are the most, like you say, they're the most Warhammer army to play Warhammer. They have no bullshit. They have no tricks. They have nothing. They get that objective. They go, this is the kins now, and they shoot at you while you try and take it,
Yeah.
or they charge you when you try and take it. That's it. There's no nonsense. And I think their new rules are a real reflection of just how this has been cemented into them. Like, you get out the board, you get buffed for going onto those objectives, and then when you take those objectives and you kill a couple of enemies, you get buffed for holding those objectives. I think it's really clean. And yeah, you're right. It is the opposite of cults. They want to stick around for as long as they can on these objectives. And if they need to make that next big push off the midfield into your half or whatever to take some other objectives, then they can pay some points to get their offensive buffs, I call them. +1 to, was it +1 to hit stuff on other objectives and
yes, I believe so.
reroll charge?
Sounds about right. I would fact check like a true patriot.
No, I really like them. I want to see how effectual it is, because it's quite a big shake-up for the faction. As previously they relied on the grudge tokens to get their wounding through.
Yeah.
I just hope that I've not checked. I will trust that they are, but I hope the weapon profiles have been brought up to speed.
Please, GW.
If you're removing what is basically a native +1 to wound from the army, you'd best be given some strength or some anti. I did see that a lot of stuff has got anti-monster 3 up now, as well as anti-vehicle, which I already had, which is quite a good change, I think.
Oh yeah, that just means it's like better balanced overall, so they're not like, oh man, I'm so great into this AdMech list, but dear god, can I do nothing to these Tyranids?
Yeah, there's a reason Monster Mash Tyranids tends to tear a lot of Necrons apart. Again, my friend who plays Necrons plays into a Monster Mash Tyranids list a lot of the time at his local club, and I don't think he'll mind me saying this, they tear him apart. And he learned to stop bringing the Void Dragon after a while. I think he was bringing the Void Dragon first. I can't remember, because the Void Dragon hits like nothing.
Yeah, because all
into monsters. And there's an awful lot more anti-vehicle in the game, definitely, than anti-monster. I mean, look at like Haywire Mines and Drukhari. And Drukhari have very little of the strength required to deal with monsters.
With Votann on the brain as well, I guess one more point with that is the thing I've noticed with their design, and I thought this was kind of bad at first, but is redundancy. And I don't know if this is just a weird direction they decided to take the army, but a lot of the newer models they came out with the second wave are redundant. Like, they have options that are very similar to or fulfill very similar roles to them in the army already. You know, you've got the Sagittar, and then you've got the new buggy. The Steeljacks are very similar battlefield roles to their Terminators or the Hearthguard.
I think the new buggies are more for getting. Can't they specifically take combat squads of explorers or something? They're called Jaegers. You can get a unit of, I believe, on their ability on the leak I saw. I might be wrong. I think you can get a 10 squad of Jaegers and put 5 of them in each.
Oh,
buggy.
Could the Sagittar only do that with warriors? Was that not something they could do with any of?
Because I'm pretty sure the new buggy's niche is it's really good at carrying the guys in the trench coats.
That still fits their redundancy theme, right? They have this ability with the warriors, and now they have a whole other unit to do the same thing with their other set of battle line.
Capricus Carrier, here we go.
Oh, alliteration. Let's go, Votann.
Yeah, the transport can only take Harnkin Jaeger models.
Oh,
but you can split a squad of 10 into 2 squads of 5.
Okay, so it really is just Sagittar for Pioneers. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's got a suppression thing, so -1 to hit on enemies. It can have Magna Coil also cannons on it. That looks pretty cool. What do the Jaegers do, I guess, would be my next question. Reactive move. Unless they pass that onto the transport, I don't see a whole load of use for it. But I'm sure there will be one once you start playing with it.
Yeah.
That's I can never look at sheets in a vacuum.
No, yeah, there's always context of the game and where you're playing them and when and what against.
And so Sagittars can take 6 Votann infantry models. Cannot transport exo armor, exo frame, or steeljacks.
Gotcha. Oh, steeljacks got their own designation. That's interesting.
Yeah, they got 2 profiles as well.
Ooh. Oh, they're like a melee ranged.
Yeah, one's got Volkite Devastators or something, Volkite Disintegrators, and the other one's got melee weapons.
Okay, nice. That's pretty cool. So you kind of mentioned the armies, Emperor's Children and such, as good examples of the theory at work. Is there other than Necrons, because you mentioned a couple units from Necrons, is there any army that you think is terribly designed from this standpoint, that, or are they all kind of like in that middle ground where they could be better, but they're not like, this is the worst army ever designed.
I don't play against a massive variety of armies, so I don't have like a taste for a lot of them. But I think most of them are in a pretty good state. Like I'd enjoy playing against most armies in the game at this point. Every army's got its skew list. Every army's got its list that, you know, if you put it down on the table, you know your opponent's only playing to say they want a friendly. I don't have any armies aside from Necrons that I would say. Well, not even Necron. A lot of Necron stuff is fine. Just those two units that I play against a lot, I've picked out.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wouldn't say there's an army that breaks it completely because I haven't played against a lot of armies. Like, for example, I've never played Drukhari. I've never played against Admech, armies like that. I couldn't make a judgment on. And the other thing being, there's so many different ways to play armies nowadays that unless you have standout units that you're using in every list, like, I mean, 3 Doomsday Arcs in Necrons, from what I understand at tournaments and stuff, is standard. There's normally 1 or 2 in the games I play, so I pick those ones out. But I wouldn't say I know of any that spit in the face of it, shall we say.
Okay.
Maybe I'll be proved wrong when new Votan hit the tabletop. I don't know. I hope not.
They're insane. They broke them again.
Not again.
Don't have a great track record with Votan, but I'm hopeful. Ping-ponging them between states of playability and sadness.
But yeah, I think a lot of armies are better than they used to be. Like I really liked the Thousand Suns changes because I fucking hated Cabal points. Not from a I like playing against them standpoint. When I was piloting the army with Cabal points, I hated just not feeling as if including a Forge Fiend was a good idea. It doesn't give me any points from army rule. I didn't include any Zangor because although they're useful chaff and they're in every goddamn box. What was the Thousand Suns Combat Patrol from 9th? That was terrible.
Was it just like
10 Zangors,
yeah,
Infernal Master, and 5 Rubrics. Sorry, 5 Scarab Occult Terminators. I wouldn't bring them because they don't give you any. Their leaders do, the sorcerers and stuff, but they wouldn't give you any points towards your army rule.
And that's obviously the ultimate feel bad, right? You don't want to be running a list and going, wow, nothing I want to use helps with my army rule.
Yeah, like if your army rule states, you know, excluding monsters and vehicles, unless it's terrible, you can guess what you're not going to bring. Like no one brought Zangors. They do now because the army rules changed, and I quite like it. I would prefer the psychic phase back. I'm a big psychic phase defender. Sometimes I'm preaching to the crowd on that one, the choir even.
Can you get a little higher? Sorry.
Yeah, so high. But yeah, no, I think the game, aside from the meta's kind of being destroyed by Death Guard and Chaos Knights at the moment.
Right.
I think every army they've done it a lot better. Every army, actually no, I'm going to change my answer there. I do have one, Imperial Agents, because I don't know what the fuck they do, and I don't know what they're trying to do.
I think they really shot themselves in the foot. I think the balance would have been okay, right? By not just accepting the hate and the backlash and keeping Deathwatch as part of Imperial Agents, because I think they took so much away from Imperial Agents and their identity and their ability to be a cohesive army by taking them out. And now it's like this weird half army thing.
Yeah, I've never understood it. Like, they want Imperial Agents to be their own thing, clearly. But then their answer to that is to take a bunch of units out of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they're still playable, but it's not like their specific exclusive unit. Get wanting to play your Deathwatch Space Marines in Space Marines. That does make sense. And I can understand being annoyed about that. But at the same time, if you can still use a majority of Space Marine units within Imperial Agents, I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, they're not an army I would have fun playing because I feel like I'd be too reliant on other rosters.
Yeah.
Like, I don't particularly like playing a Chaos army where I go, okay, well, I've got, like, I love my Night Lords. They're my Legion of choice, but I don't like playing a Chaos army where I go, okay, well, I've got my Night Lords, and I've got 500 points of Demons, and then I've got a Chaos Knight, and then I've got blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not... I know some people love soup and stuff like that. I don't. I wouldn't put it in my army. If I'm playing my Night Lords, then I'm bringing the whole warband, organize them into claws and everything. And it's the same with Imperial Agents. If I'm playing Imperial Agents and my agents are Cotiers, who else has a model? Eisenhorn, Greyfax,
Yeah.
and then a couple squads of Space Marines. Well, I'm playing Space Marines with some characters. I'm not playing Imperial Agents. If they want Imperial Agents to be an army, it needs the support of an army. They need squads of Inquisitorial Stormtroopers. They need squads of Voidsmen at Arms. They need, I don't know, pick something from the books. Get like proper demon host rules.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine having rhinos and stuff. Like, everyone in Imperium gets their rhinos. But
Yeah.
other than that, if it is going to be an army. I was gonna say give them like a flyer, but flyers are so bad.
No, don't do that.
I am
Curse them
number.
further down.
No, I'm number one flyer defender. I always use my Eldrick.
Well, I mean, if you painted all the trim on it.
I mean, I didn't paint it. I bought a very
I
lovely.
see.
It's a lovely painted one that I bought.
Someone has painted all the trim on that, and that's what
Exactly.
Yeah, no, with agents, the other thing is, like, if you want Imperial agents to be an army, refresh the Grey Knights.
Yes.
The
Jesus
two,
Christ. Oh
the
my
two
God.
biggest things outside of your characters that you could possibly give, like barring a full a full update for the Inquisitorial agents of the Stormtroopers and stuff I mentioned, the two biggest ways you have to add stuff to your army are the Death Watch and the Grey Knights. And the Grey Knights, I started playing 40k back in 2012.
Okay.
I was a baby, and my first army was Grey Knights. The Strike Squad that I bought back then, and I have since sold to your brother,
Yeah.
is the same Strike Squad on sale today.
Oh my God, that's what, for 15 years?
Jesus Christ, I'm not that old. 13 years.
Oh, no, what, from 2012 to now? It's 15 years.
It's not 2027.
Why am I stupid? I'm cutting that. You go. You do.
It's the same Strike Squad. Like I would be full in on Grey Knights. I love that I love the Demon Hunters thing they have going on. I love all their lore and their like true name stuff they do, but their models just look awful. They have, and the funny spot is, especially in the Combat Patrol, they have models like Crow, who looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Next to a Strike Squad guy who's like half his size, hunched over. Like, yeah, that's my gripe with Imperial agents. I can't put them on the triangle because, to be honest, I don't know what they're meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of the downside to being the hodgepodge army, the bargain bin army. You've got everyone together, but there's no structure, there's nothing going on. It's all chaos, which is, I guess, kind of ironic for
Yeah, it's
and
fun.
accurate for the Imperium, I suppose. Bogged down by bureaucracy and nothing gets done.
Yeah, Inquisitorial agents are actually a warning.
So I guess, say they make the next army they make, whatever that army would be, is there like a specific role you think it should take that hasn't been done yet?
Ooh, I would normally go off of like theme if I know an army's coming out. It's like when I heard Chaos Dwarves were coming out, I knew like their theme was going to be like industry and like ruthless development, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think in a similar vein, I think the next army that they have, I don't think it's happened for a while because there's quite a few armies in 40k they have to support now.
Yeah.
I would much rather they did up Grey Knights, Drukhari, gave World Eaters some more units, gave Thousand Suns some more units, and then did a new army. But I don't think we're going to get that.
No, that doesn't make them nearly as much money.
No. I think the next army they'll do is Dark Mechanicum. And I know that's not the question, but it's a question I have to ask to answer the question. And I'm hoping that their theme is like, do you know how old vampires used to work?
No, not off the top of my head.
So in fantasy, if you killed a vampire, everything around them would start to crumble. But the vampires were really, really like in crazy, crazy good heroes. Kind of like how old Synapse used to work.
Right.
But the vampires could also leech life off of stuff. Or I know they could do it off their enemies. I'm pretty sure they could do it off their allies. Dark Mechanicum, I think, could be really cool if they had like these big war machines and then like chaff that they could sacrifice, kind of like the Chaos Knights Christmas detachment, but not shit.
Okay, yeah, okay, I follow.
Like, I love armies where you have to sacrifice your thralls to be able to do stuff.
Yes, very chaosy as well.
Yeah, I also love, like in D&D, I love Blood Hunter because I can sacrifice my health to do stuff, which I love. I always love sacrificing health, like blood magic, hemomancers, whatever. And I think the 40k representation of that is something we don't really have.
Yeah, it's not really a resource that gets played around with a lot, is life. I can't count like any off the top of my head abilities that's like, oh, sacrifice this many wounds to do this.
Yeah, in AOS they have a few. In Cruel Boys, he can like throw damage off onto an unsuspecting battle line unit of his.
Right.
And then I mean, Ossiarch has like big bodyguards and stuff, but they know what they're in for. They signed up for it. I think a niche like that we haven't really explored because we've got massive robots, we've got tiny little insurgents, we've got a million flavors of power armor.
Yeah.
Got wizards, we've got disease spreaders, we've got berserkers. There's a lot of niches that are explored, but I think gameplay wise and lore wise, like a lifesteal sort of vampire thing, Because the Blood Angels don't really do it. As much as they are vampires, they have very little rules-wise to do with sacrificing people to make their leaders stronger.
Yeah, they just kind of they hit harder in melee because angry/hungry.
Because they're pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a really cool niche to explore. And I think Dark Mechanicum can do it by, like, their souls power the machines or something.
No, yeah, I think that's a really good idea and a great way of showing off Dark Mechanicum is they absolutely would be using whatever they can as a resource to keep their efforts going forward. And if it lets them win by sacrificing these 20 thrall guys, 100%.
Yeah, your battle line are like 10 points, like 2 points per model, and they only exist to fire autogun and be consumed by big horrible demon engine behind you.
And they thank them for it. Like, yes, this is what I signed up for. This is
Oh,
where
they
I
love it,
sold
yeah.
my soul.
It's an investment.
I
There'll be a
guess-
bloodthirst in the next life.
Ooh, if they're lucky, if they're lucky. No, they want to be a venom crawler. They want to be the little face
True.
with the turret on the venom crawler. That's where I want to go when I die.
The venom crawler. It just looks like Big Weld. I have never been able to unsee that it looks like Big Weld.
Well, have you like removed all the spider limbs and just like
Yeah, if you took off all the spikes, it's fucking Big Weld. He's here to tell you about upgrades.
Oh, I guess in a similar vein to the Dark Mechanicum, I think if we're gonna go off armies, we'd like to see. I'd hate to be the person who's like, make another Eldar faction. They should fix Harlequins first. But
Yeah.
people really want their Eldar on dinosaurs.
They do. I think people will always want something on dinosaur because it's cool.
I think it actually has, apart from being cool and funny Spinosaurus memes, there is a great space for them to exist and kind of take what the crew have in Tau with all the mounts and all the creatures they have and kind of mix that with what Ideneth Deepkin have. And I guess a cavalry army for 40k would be really interesting.
True. Yeah, we don't have that. Everything has lance.
Yeah. Lance is such an underused mechanic, right? And Eldar kind of already have, I guess the closest thing, they have a lot of bikes, they have a lot of mounted, they have a lot of bikes. It's just close enough, I guess, to cavalry. But
yeah, shining spears are going to be the closest you get.
Yeah, so I think that would be a cool design space to work within. And if they just need to like figure out how to make it work or make it interesting, they have like half of AOS to look at and go, so this is how cavalry works in this game. How do we make that cool for 40k?
Yeah, I need an Eldar wizard. That would go kind of hard.
Fireballing from atop a dinosaur.
You could even do like a little bit of fantasy and put like actual dragons in.
Yeah.
Like we have the Void Dragon. Some Tyranids are referred to as dragons, like harpies and stuff. Put actual dragons in. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, there's that tiny little pseudo dragon looking thing on one of the Inquisitors.
Oh yeah, she's got the Eldar gun as well, isn't she?
Yeah.
Lord Inquisitor, it will come to me. Kyria Draxus.
Yeah, it's even called Draxus in the name. We're connecting the dots. Dragon's man.
It's more of Warhammer's amazing naming conventions, and we love the franchise for it. I've always believed that Mortarion was the guy obsessed with death.
Whoa, you know what? Blowing my mind. I thought he'd like artillery or something, I don't know.
Or Perturabo would be a little bit annoyed. I love this franchise, it's so stupid.
So yeah, I guess any closing thoughts? I think it's a very interesting way to look at the game balance, and obviously it's a known concept and I think is used in certain game design spaces, obviously outside of 40k as like a metric. What is very interesting and has a lot of great ways of illustrating what might make a unit busted or underpowered, but obviously it's not this solves all your game design problems, just follow these 3 easy steps for instant wins, because you have the other dials you can turn, which is like points cost and how many of them you can take and that kind of thing.
Yeah, you have other dials to turn. I think that the points cost is reflected by how much the triangle it can do. But in that same vein, one of the dials you can turn the triangle can't account for is creativity. If you have a really creative ability that you somehow manage to get, reasonably beyond killiness, toughness, and mobility, then that could be really fun. That makes a really interesting unit. Like I remember when the Warp Shock Harpoon on Chaos Knights, if you hit something with it, you used to pull it towards you. That's
Yeah.
cool as fuck.
Yeah,
I don't
completely
know where that
shakes things
fits on the
up.
graph,
Yeah.
but that's cool
Somewhere
as fuck.
between movement and killing, maybe, but otherwise,
Yeah,
it's
I don't
force
know.
movement.
I know it's somewhat controversial, but I'm a real big fan of it for just sitting down and going like, right, why do I not enjoy playing against this unit? Oh, it can move everywhere. Oh, it's really tough. Oh, it can kill me really easily. And then if I look at that and see, oh, we can only take one of him though, he is unique. I go, that's fine. But if you can take three, I'm like, oh well, I don't like that. It's never going to help you balance everything to a T.
Yeah.
I don't think the game's ever going to be that balanced. I think balance changes are something that happens all the time. The only game that has ever achieved perfect balance, or within as well, I'll never say perfect, but within a very close degree of perfect balance, is Team Fortress 2. And I will take no questions on this. I think that it's always going to happen, but in order to keep the game fun, we can use it as a real good metric for like, oh, now I see why everyone hates this unit. Like,
Yeah.
for example, Death Guard and Chaos Knights, very famously in the past couple of days, there's a tournament that has imposed other rules on them.
Oh, interesting.
So you can only take Death Guard non-battle line have rule of 2 instead of 3.
Oh, wow. Holy
And
shit.
Chaos Knights have rule of 1. So you can
Damn.
have one Rampager, one Despoiler, etc.
Is this like a full circuit thing or just a specific tournament?
It's the Hellfire something. I can find the Reddit post afterwards. But yeah, they've imposed rules on it. That could be solved with points. That could be solved with whatever. Maybe abilities need changing. But I think it's always good to look at this as like a grounding thing and be like, right, if a unit does all three of these and there's loads of them, it's not a fun fight.
Yeah.
That's why I just think it's useful. I don't think it's the multi, but it's really useful for examining how the game works.
No, yeah, I think it's a great way and will definitely be something on my brain going forward, especially as I want to try and do some homebrew stuff. So it's a good place to start when trying
Yeah.
to balance things. And as to your point, even if it could be used to achieve perfect balance, I think a game constantly having balance updates is what marks a healthy game. And
Yes.
having a perfect game, like truly perfectly balanced game, is the only way to do that is everyone's playing the exact same thing all the time, the exact same rules. And we've got that.
Yep.
Is called the original Street Fighter, and sure, it's probably fun for a little bit, but no one wants to always be playing Ryu.
Yeah, and then it gets dull.
Yeah.
And it also helps you, specifically when you're homebrewing stuff. No one wants to go into the group chat and be like, "Hey guys, I just finished my new like Chaos Space Marine leader, and the stat sheet's ridiculous." None of your friends want to tell you that your unit is silly. So that the triangle is a really good way to be like, "Is this unit going to be perceived as silly? Do I need to change this before it hits the tabletop? Are people going to enjoy this?"
See, the perfect idea is you just grab an obliterator, you make it 1 point tougher, 2 more wounds, give it access to the smite from the psychic phase. Perfect unit. Completely balanced.
Yeah. Fucking obliterators. I forgot they exist.
They're so cool. What do you mean? They're like
Their
centurions,
model is
but chaos.
terrible.
No.
It's
no.
monopose and terrible.
Okay, it is monopose, but it comes with a venom crawler. That's how you get it.
I'm gonna reveal something here. I hate the Venom Crawler because it looks like Big Weld.
No, but I thought that'd be a positive. But it is
it
Big
looks
World.
ridiculous.
He hates Big World. That's fucked.
Yeah, I'm on the side of the guy who owns the like street cleaners.
It's fucked.
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
Cool. Yeah. Anything else to add?
No, that's I think that's it. Go all praise to Triangle.
All praise the triangle.